Welcome, friends. This is a yoga practice suited for all levels, including complete beginners. You don't need to have any experience to get started. So let's begin. We will begin in tabletop pose, which is going on your hands and knees. Stack your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. From there, we will take cat and cow. Lift your gaze up and arch your back. And then when you exhale, round down, chin to chest, and round your back. Repeat this motion several times. Take this opportunity to really focus on your breath, matching your movements to your inhales and exhales. Always inhaling as you arch your back and exhaling as you round it. Now we'll take downward dog. So move your hands forward, keeping them shoulder distance apart. Tuck your toes under and then lift your hips up and back. Straighten your arms and try to have a relatively straight back. You can also walk your dog by gently bending one knee and then the other. You should feel this in the back of your calf muscles. Now we're going to shift into a vinyasa. So bring your weight forward into a plank position and then lower your body down almost as if you were doing a push-up. Then arch your back going into cobra pose. Now we will shift into child's pose. So lift your hips up and back and widen your knees a little bit. Place your hips towards your heels and keep your arms straight. This should feel like a resting, restorative pose. And now we're going to go back to downward dog. So bring your weight forward, tuck your toes underneath you, and lift your hips up. Coming into three-legged dog now, we're going to lift our left leg straight up to the sky. Next, bend at the knee and hold there for a few seconds. And then we're going to bring our foot forward into a lunge. Place it on the outside of your left hand. This is called lizard pose. We're going to round down and try to get close to the floor. You'll feel this a lot in your hips. Coming up now, we're going to flow into pigeon pose. So go up on your hands and just shift your left foot over closer to where your right hand is while keeping your knee in the same spot. Then you can bend forward and feel the stretch. Check in with your breath here. How does it feel? We're going to come up now and do those same moves on the other side. So come back into downward facing dog and walk out your feet a bit. Next, lift your right leg up to the sky, keeping it straight, and then bend it. Then bring it forward to the outside of your right palm, going into lizard pose once again. Bend down and stretch. While we're here, take a moment to set an intention for your day. What's one thing that you want to focus on today? I like to keep it to a simple word, like gratitude. Now we're going to move into pigeon pose. So lift up and walk your toes over to your left hand, coming back down to stretch once again. Now we're going to come into Cobra, so send that right foot back and lower your hips down, arch your back. Then send your hips back and take child pose once again. Now we're going to come out of child's pose and take a seat. We're going to touch the bottoms of our feet together, taking a butterfly pose. You can do this with a straight back, you can round your back, whatever you prefer. Now we're going to lie down and take a bridge pose. So keep your hands on the floor, your heels on the floor, and push your glutes upwards. Try to send those hips even higher. We're not going to be here for too much longer. Try to keep those hips up. If this is too much for you, you can always lower back down and take a bit of a rest. And begin to lower down very slowly. Now we've completed today's practice. So lift up into a seated position, whatever is comfortable for you. And take this moment to thank yourself for showing up for yourself today, for putting yourself first. Think about your intention. We're going to seal it with the chant of Om. So inhale big and chant Om. Thank you so much for joining me today with this practice. Namaste.